Hello Facebook Live. How are you today? Melanie and Lair coming to here live on my personal page. If this is the first time that you have ever caught me live in your whole entire life, please let me know that you're a first-time viewer. I would love to welcome you to my Facebook Live world. If you tend to watch me quite a little bit, then I hope that you would say hello, because we are friends and stuff. And if you are watching the replay, then you can hashtag AlphaFem, and I will see that you are watching this on the replay. Now, I'm sitting outside, and the sound of the river is kind of loud. So, if you wouldn't mind telling me if you can hear me properly, that would be great. Hello, Kimberly. So just let me know if, even though there's the river around me, if we can still hear me properly. Please. Hello, Laura. Hello, Merlin, Sabrina, Minnie. Hello. Irene, how you doing? So I just want to make sure, because if not, I'm just realizing now that I'm live that that's pretty loud. You can hear me. Okay, perfect. So this is actually a live stream where I want to have a conversation with you about money. Oh, yay, Margaret, thank you so much. And thank you for being here. Aurélie, hello. Emilie, hello. Perfect. So I want to talk to you about money. There's a lot of things I want to say, but we're going to start with this. I have, since 2018, I've been called to and invited to speak on the topics of money in different areas, different businesses, for different entrepreneurs, for bigger businesses, smaller businesses, for people who don't have their own business, just talking about money in all kinds of different ways. And the reason I was invited to do that is because I had an unrealistic change of events when it came to money in my life. And I've also mentored quite a lot of people who've also had quite an unrealistic turn of events when it comes to money in their lives. Now, why I never really put myself forward as a money mentor or a money coach is that I really believe, and this is my very real truth, that money is the byproduct of the people that we become. I don't actually look at money as something external. I really, in my experience and the way that I have healed the money things in my life, I've had a very different way of looking at money, experiencing money, thinking of money. It's been a very different experience for me than what most would teach, would talk about, would express. And so along the way, I've kind of mystified quite a few people with this way of doing it. And I've had so many incredible people come into my world and be like, give me your perspective. Talk to me about money. Tell me about what you see and what you believe, because there's something about what I'm hearing that's not landing, and there's a way that you do things that's unique, and I want to hear it. And as I started talking about money, my career started to really change and morph into more and more people wanting me to talk about this topic. Now, I'm happy to talk about money because I think it's an important thing on the planet. I think that there's a lot of taboo around money. I think there's still a lot of upset around it. People who put money on a pedestal and experience themselves as less until they're rich. People who are very wealthy and think that's the reason they should be happy, and struggle very much with feelings of inadequacy and depression because they finally cracked the money code and they're not happier, and it makes them worry if they'll ever be happy. I've talked about money in so many dimensions, but for me, it's like an ingredient in a recipe. It's like what we're really aiming for is not money, but if it's not a part of the equation, it doesn't really work. For a fully self-expressed life and for absolute freedom, what it feels like to me is if there's a piece missing, something fundamental like money, it feels like it becomes the cornerstone of our lives. It tends to be the thing that we're constantly thinking about, and we're constantly wondering how to do it, how to make more, how to do this, how to do that, about money. And so I've contemplated this long and hard, and I've realized that for a lot of people on the planet, their life is all about money until they're financially free. It's as if you'd think when people are rich, they're all about the money. And I have had that feeling in my life. Rich people are all about the money. I remember thinking those things. What I've realized is, as a matter of fact, it wasn't until I became financially free that money became one of the things I thought about the least in my life. And my issue became my problem was actually not thinking about money and making everything about the money. My issue was staying grounded and grateful and mind blown by what I had created and not getting desensitized by the money. And so I started talking about normalizing big money in the hands of women without, like, normalizing it, but not desensitizing it. We want it to be normal. We want to see people become wealthy. We want that to be normal. We don't want it to be like, oh my gosh, this is so weird. This person is financially free. This woman is financially free. That's so weird. We don't want that. We want it to be like, of course she is, 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 of course she is. It's normal, but not desensitized like it doesn't matter. Like I'm so used to it that it doesn't make me feel grateful anymore. Like if I don't keep making more and more and more and more, there's no actual feeling in my body. I'm just hungry for more money. Like that's the thing that I want to try to help people avoid. Because what I love about my journey here, from really going from like a ebbs and flows of financial situations in my childhood, all the way to landing myself in a really bad financial situation, going bankrupt, sleeping in the front seat of my car, like really wrecking my life, to then really taking the power back for myself and really saying, look, this is my life. This is me. How do I want to live my life? I didn't just all of a sudden focus on money and become who I am. That's not what happened. I focused on so many different things. I took a real long look at my life and I realized that there were a lot of things that were not working. And a big part of it was money, but it was not the only part of it. And had I just focused on money, thinking that if I just made more, I might get myself out of that predicament, I think I would have really messed things up for myself. I look at the journey in hindsight, and it's so clear that the reason I created this is because money was an ingredient in such an important piece of my life. Like it was an ingredient in creating this incredible recipe, but it was not the whole recipe. It was not about creating all of these different missions or creating these different goals and plans and changing the way that I am and feel just so that I would be rich. Like that was not the thing for me. And so as I've supported so many people touch wealth, because not everyone who touches it keeps it. That's another conversation, but helping people touch wealth, experience wealth, and then leading some to touch it and keep it, and then some to touch it, keep it, expand it. This has been such an interesting journey for me because I've learned not only through my experience of this, but through the experience of other people, why is it that for some people the money doesn't quite land? Why is it that for some it lands and it goes? Why is it for some it lands, it stays, but it doesn't multiply? Like what are all the dynamics of that? And I've been very, very curious because of the amount of questions I've been asked. So one of the things that I really am drawn to in life is human connection and the feeling of growth and constant evolution and growth over a lifetime. Those are the things that really, really set my soul on fire. And so money is one of those things that you can plug into evolution and growth over a lifetime. It's one of those things that you can say, I would love it if all of my life, I believe there would always be more resources available to me. It would always be possible to make more. Instead of, when I was younger, I had access to money, or I had some and then I spent it all. Where I feel that's a lot of conversations on the planet is people who had money and then lost the money, or had it and then didn't know how to manage it and then messed it up, or just never had access to it, or were born into a family that really didn't have much access to money, and all those belief systems just kind of translated into their own lives. And so why is money important, in my opinion, and how I feel about it as a person, is I've realized that when money is an objective for me, when it feels like I need to make a certain amount of money, I'm constantly thinking about how much things cost. I don't really look at life the same way. I'm not looking at this is beautiful, this is meant for me. I'm not looking at I desire this from just a neutral place of desire. I'm not looking at things like just, yes, I want this experience. I'm not looking at things for what they are. I'm looking at things through what I believe things are worth. And what I've realized is that is not a really great way to interact with the world. When you think of most of the things we need to spend money on represent people and their work. And so when you think of an artist that makes the most beautiful painting, and you would love to have that painting in your house, and this artist has taken so much care and love and time and energy to build this incredible piece of art, and you ask, how much is it? Because that's the thing that's going to decide whether you can buy it or not. You say, how much is it? And they tell you the price and you say, oh gosh, there's no way. That's way too expensive. At what point was the decision to buy the art about your taste? At what point was it about the care of the artist and how much time and energy they put? At what point was it about the talent of the artist, the resources that were used, the uniqueness of the piece? Like, none of that is considered in the decision where you tell this artist who's just put all of their energy into this gorgeous piece, that's way too expensive. When you think of the restaurants that care so much about the aesthetic, that literally a doorknob costs $1,000 so that it fits with this perfect aesthetic to create a customer experience that's out of this world. Everything from the cutlery to the glassware to the chefs to the servers, everything is well thought out. Everything costs so much. They invest. They're constantly pushing the envelope. How do we make this the most extraordinary dining experience ever? And you think, oh my gosh, can you imagine eating there? I would love to eat there. You put the picture of one of their meals on your vision board. But then you look at it and it's like, how much is it? How much is it? Oh, well, a dinner for two is X amount. Oh, I would never pay that for a meal. Why? Well, it's just not worth that. Who is not worth that? The builders who build the building? The architect who designed the building? The people who created intricate handles and the perfect pieces of art? The curators, the designers? They're not worth it? Who's not worth it? The waiters that have literally given their heart and soul to be ranked some of the top service providers in the food industry? The chef with a Michelin star? Who is not worth it? Which part is not worth it? The ingredients that were ethically sourced, that were picked by people who care and taken care of and meticulously organized and placed on a plate where the plate itself is worth as much as the dinner, which part is not worth it? So it's not that it's not worth it. It's that the price doesn't make sense for our financial situation. I can't. It doesn't make sense. And so I'm not relating to life as the beauty that it is. I'm not looking at the care that people might put in something or the attention that someone might put in something. I'm not thinking about the style, the aesthetic. I'm not thinking about the service. I'm not thinking about any of it. I'm thinking about the money. So what we're looking to do in this moment is that when we think, my life is all about trying to make enough money so I can have the things that I want, and then choosing the things that I can do based on the money that I have, my life is very much about money. You could even say my life is all about the money. When I think of how many hours I'm willing to work, or if I have one job or two jobs, if I think about where I go on vacation, if I even go on vacation, if I think about what's my style, what are the clothes that I wear, if I think about, do I get married, how do I get married, what type of clothing do I wear for my wedding, how much do I give to my guests, how much do I not, any single thing that I do in my life, it's all based on money. So why I'm interested about the topic of money is because there are people on the planet who have a different dream about life, a different dream than what they were born into, a different dream than what was presented to them as what was possible at first. Thank you all so much for sharing this. I really appreciate it. So a lot of people were born into this family, born into this community, born into this culture. This is how we do what we do. You make as much as you make, and you create a life that fits inside of that budget. That's what you do. But then there's people that are just like, no, I don't think I was born for that. I think I'm supposed to do something different than that. I want to go visit a country I've never been to. And when they see people who are wearing a certain style, they say, I would love to have that style. That feels like me. And then when they see someone driving a certain car, they're like, I feel like I'm supposed to drive that car. I feel it. When they see people vacation to a certain spot, they're like, I can see myself on that beach. I feel like I'm supposed to go there. Every single thing that they see, it feels like a yes. It feels like they're drawn to it. It feels like, I want this in my life. I want this experience. I want to go to this restaurant. I want to go to these places. The fact requires money actually doesn't matter to them at all. The fact that it requires money just makes them puzzled. Like, how do I achieve all these things if it has to do with money? And I will say, if while I'm speaking, you get this feeling like there's someone on the planet that needs to hear this, please share, tag them in the video. This is how I've built my business, is through people sharing my work. So it would mean the world to me. And if you do, please let me know in the comments that you have, so my team can put you in the draw. Okay, so when a person is thinking of all these things that they want, when they're the ones who they see style, they see luxury, they see things, and it lights them up. They actually feel yes about it. There is nothing about the fact that it costs money for those people. It's not a status thing. It's not how much money it is. It's nothing like that. It's like, I want this because it's supposed to be mine. I'm supposed to go there. I want to go there on a boat. I want to go there on a big boat. I want to have this car. I want to have this house. I see it. I feel it. It's mine. It's supposed to be mine. I feel it. I'm supposed to have this. But they don't consider that it's because it costs something. As a matter of fact, they have to consider or wonder, how the heck are they going to make the money to do that? How do we make the money? Because I don't care that it costs money. As soon as the money comes in, I'm going to spend it on going to Italy. I'm going to spend it on the boat. I don't care about the money. I care about the trip to Italy. I want to eat pasta on a cliff overlooking Positano, and I want to cheers white wine to my favorite person to travel with, my sister, my partner, my friend. Like, I don't care how much it costs. I just want to sit on a yacht at sunrise. I don't care how much it costs. I want to be on a boat on the water, and I want the boat to be the most beautiful boat I've ever seen, where everywhere I look, I'm like, wow, wow, wow. That's what I want. I don't care how much it costs. I'll make the money it takes, and then when the money comes, I'll give it all away just to get on that boat. I don't care. I don't care. Oh my gosh, this bag, like, I can see myself walking with this bag, the style, the aesthetic of this. I care about this kind of stuff. I love this kind of stuff. I want it. The price makes no sense, but I don't care. I'll make the money, and when I have it, I'm going to give it all away. I'll give it all away for the bag in return. It doesn't matter. I want to just do the thing. I want to go to the place. I want to give a thing. I want to give this to my parents. I want to retire my parents. I don't care how much it costs. I'll make the money, and as soon as I've made the money, I'm going to give it all away in order to have the thing. It just so happens that the thing, it costs a lot, the thing. And so this has been my energy with money. Helping people detach from just, if I don't have the money, I'm not worthy. If I don't have the money, I'm not good enough. Now this is actually take 2. I was on here live just a little while ago, but it was not working. I kept glitching. People could not hear me properly. I was frozen, and the whole thing messed up. So what are we talking about? We're talking about money. And the reason I want to preface all of this is that I have been invited over the years to speak about money a lot. And the way I respond in life is when someone invites me to do something, I go. Like if I get invited and it feels like a yes in my body, I go. And so I remember when my life situation started to change, and I really took myself from a very difficult financial situation where I had absolutely no money. I had gone bankrupt. I was sleeping in the front seat of my Honda Civic. I can't even say living because I didn't even have any of my stuff with me. It was just like sleeping in the front seat of my Honda Civic. And so the journey from going from there to building a business that eventually hit 6 figures and then a million and multi-millions, and building what I've built now, there's been a lot of curiosity throughout the years. People have been puzzled by the way that I do things and by the way that I teach things, because I have a very unique approach to money and a very unique approach to wealth, and I believe and think things about money and wealth that are kind of unconventional. And so I've been invited to so many places and so many platforms, podcasts, interviews, in companies, for entrepreneurs, for people who actually have normal businesses, brick and mortar businesses that just want to change their money mindset, people who have jobs, high paying jobs, who want to hear about money differently. I've helped and served so many people on this topic, but I've never claimed to myself as this would be my title. Like I would be a money coach or a person that helps people become wealthy. I never claimed that title. And the reason for that is because it does not feel like a full picture of what I do. To me, money feels like one ingredient of a full recipe. It's a very important ingredient, in my opinion. Life without it does not taste the same, like no salt. But it feels like money to me is the seasoning of life, because you can have a very healthy life with very little money. But if you want it to be flavorful, the salt is good. But too much salt That's not used properly, not good either. And so I've had so many different opportunities to speak on this topic and to talk about this topic because I have a very unique approach to money. And so I want to share with you in this live stream what my opinion is and how I've seen money and what I've realized and some of the things that I've seen. But one thing that's important to take into consideration as I share this is that this is not a blanket statement. This is not to say all people who have money do this. All people who don't have money do this. All the people who become wealthy are like this, and all the people who don't are like this. It's not a blanket statement, but this is a very beautiful pattern that I've recognized, and I want to share it with you. When I had no money, when money was not easily accessible to me, one of the things I often caught myself saying was things like rich people only care about money. And the things that made me think that about them were the fact that they seemingly, to me at the time, flashed their money. And so they would wear the big fancy watch, and they would drive the big fancy car, and they had the big house, and they all had all the things, and they just needed to show that off. That was my perspective of it, is that these people were all about the money, wanting to look rich. I did not understand luxury at all. As a matter of fact, I was earning well over $150,000 a month before I ever bought a luxury thing for myself. I didn't get it. I could not get behind it. It didn't make sense to me at all whatsoever. I didn't get it. So it took a while for me to understand what it really means to have money and what you do with it. Because I'll tell you this, I have actually had a lot of people in my life, I've met a lot of people in my life who have so much money and literally do not spend it on anything. They don't spend the money. They pretend they have none. They walk around with jogging pants and a beat up car. They don't even act like they have any. So it's not even true that it's the people who have money that want to flash their money. That's not even true. What I've come to find out now that I have more friends that have wealth, more that I've helped more clients create wealth, now that I've tapped into wealth myself, one of the things, thank you so much for sharing. One of the things that I've really realized is that money really becomes just a way to be fully self-expressed. And sometimes you don't know what you love, and you don't know who you are, and you don't know what you want in life yet, because you can't even think about it because the money isn't there. And I have been there. There were so many things I would say before money became accessible to me. There's so many things I used to say that were like, I would never. I don't know if you've done this in your life, but like, I would never spend money on that. I would never eat dinner there. I would never go there. I don't understand people who buy this kind of, I would never buy that. I would never go there. I would never do that. I said that a lot, and it was true. I would never, oh my gosh, I would never fly first class. What's the point? I would never. That's crazy. Who buys that? Who does that? Who books that suite? I would never. How much for a dinner? I would never. Are you crazy? What? Who? How? What? I would never. And so there's so many pieces of my life that I had never done yet, never even knew whether I would like it or not, never even got to see the beauty of it, but I decided I would never do that. Because it's crazy, because it makes no sense. And the people who do that, they're nuts. They just have money to throw in the garbage. This is how my mind was at first. Now, and I thought rich people are all about the money. Now, there's been a big pivot in my life ever since I've understood money in a different way. Ever since I look at money differently, I respond to money differently. I have an attachment to money that's different. My entire experience about money is different. And I've taught this to so many clients, and the breakthroughs and the shifts in money consciousness have been out of this world in my world. But I want to share a tiny piece with you on this live stream because I think it's very important. One of the things that starts to happen when you start to access money is you realize the more money you have, the less you think about it. When you're fulfilled in your life. And this is the caveat that is so important to me. If you're not fulfilled in your life, the more money you have, the more money you need, because you're getting all of your validation from the receiving and making of money. But when you live a fulfilled life, which is really what I do with the Alpha Femme brand, is I help people live a fulfilled life that is well seasoned with money. Money is the sprinkles on top. You build an extraordinary life and you just add money. That's the vibe of the Alpha Femme brand. We want fulfillment first, and then we want to access money, because what happens is when you touch money after you're fulfilled, there's like a twilight zone moment where you realize the money doesn't matter at all. Like, not at all. What it is extraordinary. What it is magical. What it is fun. What it is playful. What it is limitlessness. What it is all of a sudden you start looking at life and there's no price tag at the thing you look at. I'm telling you, I remember looking at a plant and not being able to buy a plant because the plant was $60. And I would think of myself, that's so crazy. I would never buy this plant. A plant! There are things in my life that I would not buy. Anything with a brand, like there's the milk with the brand, there's milk with the no brand. Well, we'll buy this one that's this amount less. Everything I thought, everything I bought, everything I did, everything was about how much it cost. It wasn't about what I wanted. It was about how much it cost. Which milk? Not I want milk, I grab milk. Which milk? I'd love a plant. $60 for a plant? No plant. Oh, makeup. This is the best, most amazing makeup. It's good for my skin. Yeah, this one kind of sucks and gets crusty very fast, but except it's a quarter of the price. We're going to go for that. Nothing I ever bought had to do with what I really wanted. It had to do with what I could afford. And what I've realized is that when we look at money through the lens of money, when we look at life through the lens of money, nothing is what it actually is. Everything you look at is a price tag. The country you want to visit, it's not about which country you want to visit, it's about which one is in your budget. The flight, the seat on the plane that you sit in, it's not about which one you want to sit in, it's about which one you can fit in your budget. The food you go to the restaurant to order the food you go to, you don't buy the food that you want, you don't buy the entree that you want, you buy the entree that fits your budget. So you become a person that is a representation of your budget, not your taste, not your vision, not your style, not your dreams, not your wants, not that. You become a representation of your budget. I know, this is literally what I've lived in my life. And so what I've really loved about bringing the money conversation in for people and having them really tap into this conversation with me is that you never really know who you fully are until money is there, because you don't know what you would choose. And sometimes I choose the cheap thing. Like Kevin and I, for real, will have mac and cheese. No problem. It's the greatest thing. Like that is what I want to eat. It's not like all of a sudden you have access to money and you're not the same anymore, and you would never do this and you would never do that, and you look your nose down at everything. No. Kevin's mom's green bean casserole is one of my favorite things on the entire world. And I'm pretty sure it costs under $10 to make, and I would eat it right now. Her special juice is maybe $3. I would have me a glass of that now. There's things in life, it's not about how much it is, but it's the no to the thing that you want because of its price tag that started to feel like it was off to me. Now, beyond that, what I really started to contemplate, and this is the one that really got me, and I said this a little bit in the first live stream for those of you who are watching this, is like, it's sometimes an insult to people. And this is the part we don't always recognize. And so let's say, for example, I'm considering going for dinner at this place. It's the new place in town. Everyone's raving about it. It's a freaking masterpiece, this place. What makes it amazing? First of all, the location is out of this world. The architecture of the building is out of this world. Whoever designed it to be the most exquisite thing that you've ever seen. It's a work of art. The whole thing's a work of art. Even the doorknobs are carefully selected. It's like $1,000 per doorknob. They're made of gold and porcelain. Like the whole thing is a freaking work of art. The employees that are chosen, they are stars at their craft. They're the best of the best. The service is impeccable. It's a Michelin star chef that's cooking the food. All the food is ethically sourced. It's the best possible food you can possibly find. The cutlery, fine cutlery, the glassware, everything, the wine selection, every single thing there is absolutely pristine. How much is it to eat there? Are you crazy? I'd never eat there. I would never go there. Why? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Who would spend money on that? It's not worth it. Now, words like that, when they come out of your mouth, you only consider what you mean. But what are we saying? Which part is not worth it? The building? the location in a historic city that can't be replaced, the greatest architects that have put hours and hours and hours and hours and hours to design the most extraordinary building, the designer that spent hundreds and hundreds of hours to put together the design, which part is not worth it? The art on the wall that the people put on the wall to be the most extraordinary restaurant, the artist who painted that, that's not worth it? Which part isn't worth it? The most extraordinary waiters, the Michelin star chef, which part is not worth it? The plating, the time it takes to plate it, the fact that you have 4 servers, the sommelier that took 20 years to know what they're doing, which part is not worth it? It's not that it's not worth it. That's not actually what it is. It's not that it's not worth it, it's that I can't afford that. That's so different. But we're looking at life like, this is not worth it. I would never do that. This is not worth it. I would never do that. This is not worth it. I would never do that. And we're cutting off slices of life. We don't even know what they feel like. We don't know what they taste like. We don't know any of it. And so why I care about educating people on money the way I see money is that what it really does when you break free, what it really actually does is it makes it that you open your eyes and you see life for what it is. A plant isn't $60, it's a plant. A human being who dedicates their life to be an extraordinary server that works in a restaurant with a Michelin star chef who creates the most extraordinary meals, that doesn't have a price tag. You go there because you want to live it. You don't choose which country you travel to because of how much it costs. You go to the country that calls you to travel there because there's a piece of your identity that lives there. It's not about whether it's worth it or not. And how can we even say that about the designer, the artist, the cook, the worker, all the financial decisions, the strategists, all the people that are part of these incredible things on the planet that we literally boycott because it's not possible to pay that in our budget, instead of just noticing that in fact what we're chasing in this life has nothing to do with the money. It's not actually about that. Because the fact is, and this is the mind-boggling thing, oh, thank you for sending me stars. That's pretty awesome. Thank you for that. What's really mind-boggling in all this is that you don't even care about the money when you want something. When you really want something, you want the thing. I was explaining this in the live stream before it shut down on me. You're not actually wanting the money. You're wanting the money so you can buy the thing, in which case you want the thing. You don't care. It costs $30. I don't care. I will make the $30 to take and then give you the $30 and then you will give me the thing. So how much do I care about $30? I care about $30 none. This is the vibe that we're wanting to create in our world. One where you figure out what your identity is. Not because of what you can afford, but because of what you prefer. Not because of what it costs, but because of what your style is. Not because of what is possible, but because of what you dream of. This is a special kind of person on the planet who's constantly dreaming of more. So if you're listening to this and you're like, it's not my style, I'm happy with my life, that's perfect. We need every kind of person to make a world work, but there's nothing wrong with the dreamers. They become the artists, they become the business people who do the crazy thing that changes the world. Like, we need all the people to be the people they are. So there's no shame in this. If you're listening to this and you're like, I don't care about that stuff, great. It's not for you. I'm not talking to you. It's perfect. What I want you to know is if deep in your soul there's wants for things that are outside of your budget, you're probably not supposed to look at money the way you're looking at it. This was the gateway for me. I wasn't supposed to look at money a logical way the way I always did. I wasn't supposed to feel about money the way I was taught to think and feel about it. That was not it. There was supposed to be something else. And I've dedicated my life to this, to creating fulfillment so that when the money comes, it's the seasoning. So you have a flavorful, meaningful life. And that you are not limited, your identity, your personality, your life, your memories are not adapted to something that controls you or limits you in life, which is this money thing we talk about. And so something that's kind of interesting that I wanted to share with you on this live stream, for those of you who have invested in the invisible offer with me, the price today goes up to $555, and the information that you learned today is it is a money program that I am extremely excited to share with you. So there's quite a few things that we already know. Thank you for the stars. There's quite a few things you already know. Alpha Fem team is sending here the link. I don't think I'll be able to pin it just because of the new Facebook things, which is highly annoying. Nope, can't do it. So Alpha Fem team will keep posting the links, but here's what we know. This is going to be a program that is 10 modules total. There's going to be a welcome call with a process and a celebration call with a process. Then there's 4 modules and 4 deepening calls. So it's a total of 10 calls. You have lifetime access to the calls. This is new content. So if you've been in my world before, this is going to be a new vibe. And the very big focus of this program is money in a whole different light. It's going to be a lot of fun. So right now the price is $555. It will change again. We still have the branding to release. There's so many things I still want to share with you. This will continue to become clearer. If that's still not enough information for you to know, I'm in. If that's not enough information for you, you get to wait. The price will go up and more information will come. But if this feels like the vibe for you, you want to talk about money in a way that is exciting and fresh. You want to be in the vibes of this conversation. What I'm saying to you right now hits home in all kinds of ways, and you're just like, yes, 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 yes. This program will be so fun for you, and one that you'll be able to go back to over and over again because it's lifetime access. Those of you who bought when the invisible offer was $111, $222, $333, your investment has now changed and grown. This is another really great thing about this invisible offer is the more you trust early, the more you realize when the details land and the price goes up what you've bought. And so this is what I love about the invisible offer is the opportunity to experience this feeling. So congratulations to all of you who bought it already. Now when the price goes up, I'll be saying that about those of you who are buying at $555. It's the same thing. The value goes up. All of it goes up in value. Now the other part that's really cool about this, whenever I raise the price, I love to give more everywhere. And so the affiliates also go up. So for all of you who've registered for affiliates at this price point, the affiliate commission is actually 33.33%. So it was 25% at the 400 mark and it's 33% at this mark. So if you have anyone who you think would be good for this offer, the commission has also gone up to 33.33%. We're trying to make things fun. This is the goal. The goal is just to make things fun. We've got to do things every day. There's things we've got to buy. There's things we've got to do. There's things we've got to learn every single day. There's so much that we've got to do, and most of it is serious, and most of it is this and this. I love to change that. I want to make it exciting, mysterious, fun, celebratory. I want it to be a good time. Money is not supposed to be so serious. It's supposed to be something that adds flavor to your life. And so I want to try as much as I can to offer you opportunities, not just to learn about money, but to even spend your money in different ways that feel exciting, that feel empowering, that feel fun, that make you feel like, whoa, that was actually a good move. I'm proud of me. I've already, seen so much value and we haven't even started yet. And so if this feels like an offer that you think someone would want to be a part of, if you feel like this live stream would be helpful regardless, please share. It would mean the world to me. What we're doing this time is one person when we draw, and we're only going to be doing this one time before the next live stream. So I won't be pulling live. I'll be pulling it before the next live stream, posting it to my page. One person is going to receive a ticket for this program. And so you will be able to either give it to a friend, you will be able to use it for yourself, or if you already bought the offer at the certain price point that you bought it, whatever you will have it in Alpha Fem credits to purchase something else at the same exact price as what you bought this at. So please share. If you do, your name will go into a draw. And before the next live, when the price goes up, someone will win the tuition. So you'll be able to either invite a friend to come, or you'll be able to attend, or you'll be able to use it if you've already bought it, the amount that you've invested towards somebody else. Thank you so much for these stars. This is amazing. So all I ask is that you share, If there's something you took away from this live stream, if there's a piece of what I said that mattered, please add that when you're sharing. Because if you just share something to a timeline, people just scroll past. But if you explain, what is it that I've said here today that's made a difference for you? What has landed for you? What's something meaningful for you that's come from this live stream? It would really mean the world to me. And I think there's a lot more chances of them watching it. And I know that even with what I've said today, if you can just take away what I've said today, just start to postulate, start to contemplate in your mind, what's the difference for you between wanting the money and wanting the experience? What does that look like? If you were to take away the judgment of what things cost, thank you all so much for these stars. This is so cool. If instead of trying to make sense of the value, you saw the value, just start to contemplate that in your mind. And let's see what comes up for us. Until the next live stream, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in this invisible offer, and I will see you on the internet. Bye.